everybody, welcome back to Eat Happy. My name's Heidi, and this morning what I'm going to do really quickly before my kids come home from camp is I am going to throw together a delicious and nutritious treat for them that we can bring with us down to the beach. So this is a mixture of some oats and some almond butter with a little bit of banana and some mini chocolate chips and dates for sweetness. But everything here is whole grain, plant-based. I don't think we've got any dairy. We do have nuts though, plenty of nuts. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I've got a couple of bananas that if we don't use them now, they are gone forever. So this is part of my strategy in the kitchen, right, is I never want things to go to waste. So if I see something's, on its way out, like a ripe banana, I try to find something that I can throw together that I know the kids will enjoy. So I'm gonna take a couple of bananas, and I've pre-chopped up some almonds here. If you don't have one of these little choppers, it's so easy to grind up some nuts. So we get them into really fine pieces here. So I'm gonna actually use my knife to help scoop them up off the cutting board. So this was, let me think, probably about a half a cup of nuts. And I know you guys think I'm nuts because I never measure anything ever. And so it makes you batty, I know. I am throwing in a very small, I'll do 2 handfuls of some sunflower seeds. We're also going to put in some unsweetened flaked coconut. Again, palm of my hand, a heaping palm. And then, let's see, we're gonna put some flaxseed in here. Love flaxseed. And this is all ground up. So I've got a good teaspoon of that. I can probably put in 2. And then we're gonna put in about 2 cups of oatmeal or some type of grain. So here I'm using a grain cereal. And this is gonna be my oats. And so this is, listen, the reason why I'm using this, this grain cereal that has much smaller pieces into it is because I have one child, not mentioning any names here, but she is really sensitive to texture. So the more ground up things are, the more likely she is to eat them. So that's what I do. Isn't that what we always do, us moms, right? We're always looking for creative ways to put it all together. I got a great message from one of my viewers around the chia seed jam and how she's accommodating the recipe for her child as well. So it all works. We do what we need to do. Now here's the other thing I do. I sneak in any type of green nutrients as often as I can. So here I'm adding some complete green powder into this recipe, okay? Why am I doing this? Because for every 2 scoops of this that I put in, it is the equivalent to a daily serving of all of your fruits and vegetables. So I put in 3 servings there because obviously this is going to be more than enough for 1 little serving. I'm gonna put in some agave, and I'm doing this more to help it with binding as instead of for the sweetness. You could also use honey if you want. And then I've got some dates here, and I'm going to give these a nice chop. And then I am going to add my almond butter and a little bit of a plant-based protein powder for some additional protein. And what else am I gonna put in here? Oh, my mini chocolate chips. And so you can see this is going to be absolutely delicious. So far, 2 heaping tablespoons of the almond butter. Almost done. I did add the hemp seed. I don't know if I said that out loud, but it was about 2 little teaspoons of that. This is 1 tablespoon of the plant-based protein powder, and that is all made from pea and rice protein. And then my chocolate chips, because when the kids see the chocolate chips, it's like, it just screams dessert. So half a cup of mini chocolate chips, and here are the dates. You could also substitute raisins if you wanted to. Totally up to you. And now, depending on how this mixes, if it's a little too stiff, meaning I need more moisture, I can add some coconut water to it actually. So here we go. Just giving these a quick chop with my one-handed knife skills here. Isn't it so true when you become a mom, you learn how to do everything one-handed? You almost have to survive. Eyes in the back of your head, do everything one-handed, and you're good. And then we just all come together because it takes a village. Even with all the mom superpowers that we can have. All right, so I'm gonna throw these in here, and then I'm gonna mix this up and see where we're at if we need to adjust. So I know it drives you guys crazy that I don't measure and I don't have like these extremely well thought out recipes and things, but really for me, cooking is being inspired by a few different, recipes. I like to take a little bit from here and there. I'm gonna add a little bit of almond extract too. I just love almond extract, oh my gosh. So that was maybe a teaspoon, maybe a half a teaspoon actually. Oh, and you can smell, I just love the way it smells. I love almond, almond anything, even like almond air fresheners and things. Oh my God, I just love it. So this is actually pretty good. So for me, cooking is just, I get inspired by, 1 or 2 recipes, and then I literally look at what other recipes that are similar, what they call for. And I just keep going. And I take a little bit from here, a little bit from there. And then as I'm, going through the process, I measure with my eyes and I sort of monitor how things are looking. And then I adjust as I'm going. So this actually looks like it needs more of a binder than it does a liquid. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of the grain cereal. And is there anything else that I wanna put more of in here? Because I don't wanna add any more sweetness to this. We've got plenty of sweetness. I think the cereal was the way to go. Oh yeah. And so now it's really like the consistency of what you would expect for cookie dough. Okay, so if you're making chocolate chip cookies, it's pretty similar to that. And then what I'm going to do is I have some wax paper. Wax paper is another lifesaver. I am going to rip some off here, and I'm going to spoon out a healthy amount. Let's see how much we can fit. I might be able to get the whole thing on here. Because then what you're going to do is you're gonna put it in the freezer for a few minutes to really get it to firm up, and then it's up to you how you wanna cut this. So sometimes I'll make it into a log form, and then I can literally just slice it off and it looks like little cookies. Or you could line a pan, you know, a casserole dish or a pan, and make it into bars. You can do that too. Or you could freeze this up in a container with no shape to it at all. And once it's done, you could then scoop it up and roll it into balls. I'm just looking to avoid having, you know, that one extra step. So here it is. I'm gonna lay it down on a cookie sheet, put it in the freezer, and then it will be ready by the time the kids come home and they can enjoy a nice little treat after they eat lunch. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below, and I will see you soon.